Hey guys, what's up? What going on? It's your girl Nika of Traveling with Nika, and I am back with another video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking all about travel apps that you need to know for your travels in 2023 and beyond. Okay, a lot of these apps are apps that I personally use on all of my travels, so let's get right into it. So one of the first apps I want to talk about is Google Maps. And I know you guys might be like, well, everybody really know about Google Maps. However, a lot of people actually don't know about the offline feature that you can use with Google Maps, where you can actually download a map of the destination or the area that you are going to be traveling in and have access to that maps even when you don't have data. This is super critical, especially when you are traveling internationally and your data may be just not that good. If you are roaming, this will help you to always stay safe and be able to navigate throughout the area very safely by using the Google Maps offline feature. And I honestly use Google Maps in any country that I'm in, even when I'm in the US, especially when I have to drive and things like that. But one time where I was able to use the Google Maps offline feature, even in the US, is when I was doing my road trip from Las Vegas to Arizona, drive through some, areas that did not have the best service. We definitely lost connection at one point, and I was so happy that I had already downloaded the map between Nevada and Arizona, so we were able to get there safely with no hiccups at all, thanks to Google Maps and their offline map feature. So definitely check that out. The second app that I want to talk about is the Google Translate app. A lot of people may use Google Translate, but they don't use all of the features of Google Translate. And one of the things that I do prior to any of my international trips is I actually make sure that I research and download a few phrases that I would consider as like basic phrases in the language, to make sure that I would at least be prepared when I'm on my trip to say certain things to communicate, right? So I may have things like, of course, what's like, hello, where's the bathroom? Or do you have Wi-Fi? Things like that. Where's like the bus station if I know I will be taking like public transportation. Just think of like phrases that you would probably just normally ask in your language, and try to prep for your trips by downloading a few of those phrases so you already have them accessible when you are in that country. The feature that I use a lot with Google Translate is the translation feature, where you can either point the camera at the the thing that you want translated. Let's say it's a menu or signage for the train or something like that. You can actually use Google Translate to have that translated in real time. It doesn't have to be where you're just typing in what something means. You can actually take a picture and point the camera at it while you're in Google Translate and get the translation right away. I actually used that when I was in a museum in Kenya. They did have like the English translation, but I wanted to just see, how it would translate in Swahili, which is the Kenyan language. So what I did is I literally went in Google Translate, I put it up there, and I was able to translate it, and it did pretty good. The other feature that I want to point out in the Google Translate app is actually like the conversation feature. So if you're actually having a conversation with someone, with them speaking their local language, you're able to, translate a little bit more easier if you use that feature that is embedded within Google Translate. So don't sleep on Google Translate, and make sure that you are using all of the features that they have with the app. The third app that I want to talk about is Aerilo, and that is actually an app where it has over 200 countries and regions where you can access eSIMs for data plans. So let's just say you are traveling abroad and you want to make sure that you have data with you, because sometimes, roaming can be a hit or miss. It just depends on your carrier. But Airilo is definitely a very good app for you to use if you need like a eSIM, so that you're able to get just a data plan for that country. And it basically has where you can choose between, let's say, 1 gigabyte, 5 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes, and it tells you like it's gonna last at least a week or 2 weeks or whatever it may be. And let's say you are someone that's from the Caribbean and you're traveling to the US, you can also get eSIMs that will be data plans for the US to use when you are coming to the US, right, to visit. So that's a really, really helpful tool. The only thing is, of course, your phone has to be unlocked, so it can't be locked to your carrier. So just keep that in mind. You won't be able to use the app. However, if you have an unlocked phone and you want a data plan, using that app is going to be a very helpful tool for you, and the data plans are very, very affordable. The fourth app that I want to talk about today is the Priority Pass app, and I have access to Priority Pass because of one of my travel reward credit cards that is one of my more premium credit cards. But as a frequent traveler, benefits definitely outweigh the annual fee that I'm paying to be able to have access to a lot of other perks, but one of them includes Priority Pass, and I always make sure that I use my Priority Pass app to find lounges that are going to be in the airports where I may have layovers, or prior to me leaving from my home airport, I would, go to the lounge, get something to eat, drinks, all of those things would be included and covered with me using the Priority Pass app. The fifth app that I want to talk about is the MyTSA app. A lot of people don't really know about this app or they don't use it, but it's definitely a very helpful app to have when you are trying to figure out like what's the general wait times for your location where you would have to go through TSA. Let's say you are going somewhere new for the first time and you're not really sure like how busy TSA normally is. You can actually use the MyTSA app and find the wait time information for that airport. So it gives you a good idea of like, okay, normally around 12 p.m. on these days, it's super, super busy, or it's not really, really busy. Okay, so that helps you to plan your day for getting to the airport, to get through security and all of that. Another reason that I love the MyTSA app for is actually to check to see things that you can carry in your carry-on and also your checked luggage. So you can literally just type in certain things and it will tell you like, yes, you can bring this in your carry-on, or yes, this is allowed in your checked luggage only, or no, you can't bring this in your checked or your carry-on luggage. So it's a very helpful app for things like that. The sixth app that I want to talk about is one of my favorite apps for sure, and it's called the XE app, and it's actually a currency conversion app that is a handy tool for you to use when you are traveling to other countries that of course don't have the same currency as you. So I use this for all of my international travels when I need to figure out like, how much is $1 to the local currency. It's very simple for me to use. I no longer have to worry about having to go Googling like what's the current conversion rate or anything like that. That app is simple to use and easy for you to just input what you need, and it will tell you exactly how much, approximately the market value of the money that you need. I also use this app when I'm converting money in a foreign country because it gives me a good idea of how much I can expect to get back. Obviously, prices can change, but it gives me a good idea of like, okay, like if I give them, to change $100, I can expect to get somewhere around this amount. So that's a very helpful app that you should definitely download. The seventh app that I want to talk about is apps like rideshare apps such as Uber, Lyft, etc. That may be very simple for you guys as an app that you probably already have on your phone. But the tip here is to actually check to see if the country that you are visiting has their own local rideshare app, because definitely not everywhere has Uber or Lyft. So they may have their own version of those rideshare apps that you may want to download prior to your trip. A perfect example of that is when I visited Trinidad, my friend actually had me download like 2 or 3 apps for the local ride shares that are available in Trinidad. And I was actually able to use one of them, which is TT Rideshare, and I was able to literally get from point A to point B, and it worked just like Uber or just like Lyft in the US or anywhere else that has those apps. But yeah, it was perfectly fine. So definitely research and check out things like that may be available in other countries. The 8th tip that I want to mention is the Libby app. If you are in the US and you have access to a library, you can definitely check out getting a library card from your local library and downloading the Libby app, because the Libby app actually provides things like free audiobooks, free ebooks for all sorts of different books that you can think of, and you can actually request books as well from your local library, and you can just use your local library card with the app, and that's how you get access to all of the books that would be pretty much available in your local library. This is a really amazing tool because I always download audiobooks, for example, prior to my trip. So while I'm in the lounge or while I'm just on the plane, I can have access to free audiobooks and keep myself occupied by using the Libby app. So definitely check that out. From my state and my county, I actually was able to just request a library card online. So I don't think you even have to really go into the library. The ninth app that I want to make sure that you guys always have is your airline app. So whatever airline that you are traveling on, you need to make sure that you have the app because you need to be able to check in. You need to be able to get alerts like quick. Having the app for your airline is the best way to stay updated with changes that are happening regarding your flight. So let's say they change the gate. You wouldn't have to, be going to check the boards at the airport or asking around, like, where's my gate? Where's my new gate? If the gate changed by the time you had checked in, you would have the app and everything would literally be updating right there and then so that you have more real-time information. If you ever travel without the app for your airline, don't do that again, okay? Make sure that you download the app. Even if it's not an airline that you fly on all the time, just download it for that purpose. And then if you want to delete it afterwards, sure, not to take up space on your phone. I understand that. But always make sure that you at least have the app, on your travel day. Speaking about making sure that you have the most updated information when it comes to your airline, the 10th app that I want you guys to make sure that you always have as well is your hotel app. So if you're going to be traveling and staying at a hotel, having the hotel app is another great way to make sure that you can check in, from that app, make any requests and things like that to front desk. So for example, I'm a Marriott girl. If y'all did not know, I pretty much stay in Marriott's all the time. I have status with Marriott, all of that. So I'm a Marriott girl through and through. On the Marriott app, I can check in. I can get access to get a mobile, key to be able to access my room with my phone. I can make service requests through the app if I want room service, anything like that. Communicate with the front desk. So make sure that you have the hotel app for the place that you are going to be staying at. I'm out of fingers, but the 11th, the 11th app that I want to talk about is called Surfshark. So you guys may be familiar with things like VPN, and Surfshark is the VPN that I use when I am traveling to be able to access certain things like my Stars or my Netflix. When you are in different countries, some apps may be blocked. So I use my VPN to stay connected and also just to protect my information on my devices. What I love about Surfshark is that it's unlimited number of devices. So I can use my VPN and log in, have it on my phone, my iPad, my laptop, all of that without having to pay extra. My subscription was $54, I think, for that entire 2 years and 2 months. It's absolutely worth it, okay? If you're going to be traveling internationally, you want to make sure that you are going to be using VPNs, not only to just protect your information, but just to make sure that you are able to connect to certain things that, to make sure that you are comfortable and have access to your various shows and things like that. And not only for international trips as well as when I use my VPN, but even if I'm traveling domestically, if I have to connect to any type of, public Wi-Fi, I ensure that my VPN is always on to, again, protect my information and the data that's on my devices, okay? So it's worth that $54 for that 2 year and 2 months. The 12th app that I want to talk about is the Smart Traveler app, and more specifically is the STEP program. So the STEP program is a tool that is available for US citizens and nationals to register their trips with the local US embassy for the country that they are going to be visiting. So this is something that I definitely do from a safety perspective, especially if I'm going to be traveling solo or even if I'm traveling with people. I register my trips with the local US embassy so that they know a US citizen is in that country during these specific times. So if something happens in that country, let's say, I don't know, a war breaks out, a hurricane is happening in that country where I'm visiting, or anything like that, they would know to be able to contact me. You can enter in where you're staying, the dates that you're going to be in that country, and then you can also put like your contact information. So the US Embassy will contact you in the event of an emergency and, you know, assist you with getting evacuated and things like that. This is a free tool, again, to US citizens and US nationals. And it's a very super easy thing to do to just register your trips when you are traveling abroad. The 13 app that I want to talk about, and the 13 and the 14 kind of go hand in hand, but the 13 app that I want to talk about is Get Your Guide, and the 14 app is Airbnb Experiences. So the reason that I said that those two basically go together is because I use these two apps to find unique experiences in the destination that I'm going to. So I use this both domestically and also internationally to just find things to do in that city, that state, or that country. And especially when it comes to Airbnb Experiences, that's where I book a lot of my photo experiences. The first time that I used Airbnb Experiences was actually in 2019, I think, when I went to Spain, and I was actually able to get a $5 photo shoot in Spain, okay? And that was an amazing experience. I got some really nice pictures that I still use to this day, and they are about to be like 4 years old. So that was the first time that I was able to use Airbnb Experiences, and I used the photo experience where I was able to book a photo shoot. So normally whenever you see that I've taken like professional pictures when I'm traveling, your girl use Airbnb Experiences, okay? And I'm normally able to get a really, really good deal on there. And not only just find photo shoots, as I said, just all type of different activities and things to do. So I love using Get Your Guide and also Airbnb Experiences to find those different things to do for wherever I'm going to be traveling to. That was 14 apps, okay? Of course, there's plenty more, but I wanted to just keep it to those 14, and I hope you guys learn something new today and you get to download those apps to make your travels a little bit easier. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss other videos like these and my travel vlogs. See you guys on the next one. Bye.